Hi guys, hi everyone. Just turning that down in the background. How are we all? Good God. It's all so dramatic, isn't it? It's awful. It's so dramatic. If any of you were with me a moment ago on Instagram, I was just beginning to sort of map out the complicated kind of potential implications for different countries in this equation. Oh God. So what is the news? The news is that Iran have launched upward of between 400 and 500 drones / ballistic missiles. The missiles are far more significant in many regards than the drones. But we've just been here, and we're looking at images here of the airspace across Iraq, Syria, Jordan. All flights have been stopped. All airspace has been locked down. Iran has called it Operation True Promise. Is it? Sounds like a Hollywood movie.
Well, the promise was made, wasn't it? Like when
Yes.
the embassy was attacked.
So this is in response. This is Iran's response. Let's not forget, this isn't an unprovoked attack. This is Iran's response in terms of global diplomacy. This is Iran's response to Israel taking out their consulate in Syria. So before that narrative once again gets skewed, you can talk about the rights and wrongs, and you can talk about the fact that you could argue that Iran is behind so many absolutely other attacks on Israel and in the region. That's not to say that Iran is an innocent player, but Iran, if you're using the same standard as Israel has of self-defense, then Iran are saying, look, you hit us, you killed these, we're attacking back.
Hitting a consulate in another country is that seen as an act of war?
Amanda Neal's asking about your parents. Nadia's parents are in the UK, but my God, by the skin of their teeth.
My parents came back last week to just hear today that. But don't forget, like, our family is still there. My dad's brother and wife, cousins, and it's just.
Staggering.
Right from the beginning, there's just been, people just haven't engaged with this, and we've kept saying
this will get bigger.
This will impact on everybody, because if this truly kicks off, let's hope there are a lot of very clever people behind the scenes calming things down. This moment is a very dangerous moment.
Yeah, my sense of it is that I don't think this is going to trip into a world war, and I don't think it's going to trip into a bigger thing than it is. I think the drones have been sent to bamboozle the Israeli air defense systems. I think the ballistic missiles are probably going to be aimed at military targets, well away from civilian casualties.
They're all saying, isn't it?
This has to be. Iran needs to demonstrate that it has some muscle. Otherwise, they call it a paper tiger. So Iran has to say, look, we mean it. And don't get me wrong, what makes this incredibly unprecedented is Iran have never launched any kind of direct attack on Israel. It's always been through proxy.
I mean, obviously, Biden has to say 100% we're behind you, but there was a number of people saying they didn't think America would have been told about what they were planning. Though Israel do deny that they hit the consulate in Syria. Who else was it? Nobody's. So behind the scenes, they will be raging, will they not? The Americans. They don't want to get into a conflict with Iran.
Well, I mean,
they've been swerving that.
The only person.
This is
the
just
only person who I personally think the only person who genuinely wants and needs this to escalate is Netanyahu.
No other country wants this.
No, well, I don't even think. Of course,
Israel doesn't want it.
But Netanyahu needs this because it's a way of shifting Israel back to the victim, the clear victim. They were a victim on October the 7th, but the Palestinians have been victims for decades before. So, but it allows Netanyahu to reconfigure Israel's position on the global map. He can generate a bit of diplomatic support and sympathy.
Terrifying. The position he's put his people in.
Well, the protests are still going on. There are tens of thousands protesting in Tel Aviv, and they're still asking for Netanyahu to go.
Yeah, they just tried to break up the demonstration. And they're saying, we want, whatever happens, we want a change.
Yeah.
This is petrifying. I mean, the scenes in Tel Aviv of people desperately trying to get out of the airport. So, Yes, of course there will be many Israelis who completely support everything, but there'll be many that are just sick to death
Oh, of
of this
course.
war
Of
hungry
course. Of
and
course.
this feeling of danger all the time.
Yeah.
And you know, this horror story of your child having to go into the army at 18 and be a part of this, I just can't imagine. I feel sorry.
So I think the
feel
only
sorry for
the only
every
person
fucking
it suits at the moment is
the big
Netanyahu.
boys, the
It
arms
means that
dealers, the people that make all the money
but
out
also
of
it
this.
means that there can be cloud cover over what is actually, as we know right now in the West Bank, illegal Israeli settlers are rampaging through the West Bank, burning houses, taking over land. It's happening now under the cover and in the fog of war elsewhere. So the potential of this happening now is a great distraction from all of that.
It's going to be extremely difficult to continue with all of that, isn't it? As these drones are coming down. Aren't people in shelters and stuff?
No, because
No,
I
yet.
personally don't think they will have aimed for any single civilian targets whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
I think 95% of this is stage management. This is Iran has to do something. Israel has to sound bellicose and kind of, yes, we will hit them hard and hit them hard. America and fucking Rishi have to go reckless.
Still passing all the bombs.
Still all passing all the
Making
bombs,
them
and everyone needs. Let's not forget when the American soldiers were killed. Do you remember on the Jordan border in Jordan? America launched a series of missile attacks on nowhere really very specific of any note, but they had to do it just to demonstrate that they won't take any shit.
How will Iran be able to back out of this if they are in this corner? I mean,
Exactly
I know
as I'm
what you're
saying, they don't hit any major targets. This
So
is
what, they
a
could
show
say-
of force
Right.
with zero casualties. It's managed, it's stage managed. Everyone goes, ah, and then everyone backs down, and it looks like Iran can say to their people and all their proxies, we don't take no shit. If the reason I say 95% certain of this, I don't know what you guys think,
But what about the
is
missiles?
that someone just said, what if one of the missiles goes awry?
Yeah.
If it hits the wrong target,
Yeah, exactly.
or, and this is the bigger concern, Iran has been meeting with Russia and China. If Iran feels supported indirectly by Russia, and I've heard that the Syrian Arab armies in Syria are saying they will support Iran, then that could be a much bigger attack. Of course, the problem here is whatever Iran hits, the next question is what will Israel do? And it's what Israel does next. And as we've seen in Gaza, Israel isn't at all backwards about stepping forward and destroying everything. Now, Netanyahu has said he'll hit all 6. Now, this is the big concern. He'll hit all 6 of Iran's nuclear reactors and generators.
What?
And So if he hits their 6 nuclear sites, you can have a nuclear scenario in Iran.
Has he actually stated that?
Yeah, he said that, and I think. But
When
again,
did he say that?
He said they've had the best laid plans for this. This would be their attack. They would take out Iran's nuclear capability. But just to pause just for a minute, I don't think although he wants to say that, I don't think Israel wants that. Now, the problem is,
Nobody would want
I
that,
think the only
surely.
person who genuinely does want all of this is Netanyahu. Honestly. I think Netanyahu needs this. He wants this war to escalate, and he would like to take out Iran's nuclear capability. And I think that's where, for me, there's a 5% question mark.
Is Israel more powerful then with that? I mean, that sounds like an enormous...
They don't need nuclear to do that. They just fly over and they just hit them with it. They just
Is
hit
that
them
what
all
they
with
do?
missiles. Yeah.
Good God, I had no idea.
So I reckon probably in the next hour or so, the first missiles will hit Israel. And we have to all keep our fingers crossed that they hit really kind of, not serious in terms of civilians, targets. They're talking about targets in the Golan Heights. There's a huge barrage of missiles and rockets being fired from Lebanon. There's missiles being fired from the Houthis from Yemen. So if you are an ordinary Israeli, how is this ever going to get any better? And I think the problem here is regardless of how this plays out, even if they manage this, and it all kind of, everyone feels they haven't, basically this is all about everyone not losing face. This is all about everyone not losing face.
Men posturing again. while lives are being lost, while people are being terrified out of their minds on all sides.
What do you think, guys? What have we got here? Lisa Child, our government, weak, and I could say a lot worse. Are you talking about the British government? I presume so. Why did Israel hit the embassy in the first place? They claim that there were
Well, they can't
Hamas
claim anything
operatives.
because they claim that they didn't hit
They
it.
say they didn't hit it, but the suggestion or inference was that there was
Hamas?
suspicious activity. Milk Honey, my sister was on a flight back from India tonight. It was delayed because Iran's airspace closed. They had to go over Russia instead.
Oh, God. Is she back safe now? Scary, isn't it, when you've got people in the sky and this sort of thing's going on?
Tommy, what is the guessing that a missile accidentally takes out Al-Aqsa, freeing the way for a third temple? Catherine Cronin, but with conscription, any military target might feel civilian to them. Very true. That's a very good point.
Very young
yeah,
people.
with the conscription sensibility. Yeah. Lee Durrant, the people must be absolutely petrified, constantly living in fear. Well, yeah, I mean...
Which is what the
Netanyahu
Palestinians
has several things to answer for.
This is just...
allowing it to happen in the first place, because, I mean, there was a clear breach of any kind of security.
No, but they have said that they are not adhering to any international law. They've said that. They've said they're above that. They hold no store by the International Court of Justice and what they've said. So, of course, it wouldn't bother them to attack an embassy in another country. But that's strange, because they do keep denying it, don't they?
One other encouraging detail that suggests this might not be as catastrophic as it potentially could get is that Iran has issued no emergency orders to any of its population. So, for instance, in that being, if they had any fear that what they were about...
Do they care about their population?
Well, that's the question. And could it be a sort of deceptive surprise that they will issue that warning as and when they feel they need to?
Well,
Exactly. Do they care?
Because, of course, there'll be many people in Iran. I mean, the appalling way that the people of Iran are treated. There will be many people there hoping that this could possibly bring down the Iranian government, because there's so much unrest there, isn't there?
Now, in terms of countries and air, I mean, this is why when people we both know who kind of go, well, it will kind of sort itself out, or I don't really want to engage, or I don't really understand. Okay, you might not understand, but you know what? We're humans. We're given brains. Maybe just take a little moment to try and understand. This is how complicated it gets. So Turkey is closing its airspace to any Israeli activity, Israeli flights. So essentially, Turkey are backing up the Iranian move of self-defense.
What's this?
Permanent mission of Iran conducted on the strength of the...
However, should the Israeli regime make another mistake, Iran's response will be considerably more severe. It is conflict between Iran and the rogue Israeli regime from which the US must stay away. This was just...
Oh, right, they've said. What they've done, Iran has said, conducted on the strength of Article 51 of the UN Charter pertaining to legitimate defence. Iran's military action was in response to Israel's regime's aggression against our diplomatic premises. It says this matter can be deemed complete.
Please God.
Iran has launched hundreds of drones and missiles that are en route. So basically what they're saying is what they've launched is all they're launching. This is good.
Please God.
This is good. This is something that's just been... This is good. This suggests that this is about stage management. Iran have notified America. They had notified America earlier.
And don't forget, there'll be many brilliant brains behind the scenes on all sides
saying, do this and it'll be fine.
Trying to always.
Yeah.
I mean, God knows how many times things like this are averted without us ever even knowing anything. So, yeah.
Jordan finds itself getting into a little bit of a tricky scenario because, of course, it was quickly saying it would support Israeli air forces, which won't be great for them in their relations with Iran. I mean, as we've said before, Jordan find themselves in an invidious position.
Jordan takes $3 billion a year from America. They can't survive without the money from America. Maybe Iran could give them the money instead.
So if what Iran's saying is true, that's good. That means there's no more heading over. But here's the big buts. What if one of these missiles goes awry and doesn't hit the right target? And B, I genuinely think that Netanyahu...
Now?
No, they're saying it's been conducted.
Right, so we know there's
Whatever
been no
hit,
missile disaster. Nothing's going to
No,
get
they haven't
now.
hit yet.
Yeah.
No, they haven't
They haven't arrived yet.
No. So, barring an accident or a rogue missile, or I genuinely think the guy who needs this to escalate is Netanyahu. Keep your eyes on Benjamin Netanyahu.
See if he tries to wind it up.
See
again.
what happens next.
But I'm sorry, because I've only been like half, because I've been on the phone and stuff. I thought the missiles were taking 3 minutes.
The ballistic
And the
missiles are
drones, hours.
faster. The drones will be landing in 2 hours. They're very easy to take out. The ballistic missiles could be landing, within the next 20 minutes.
Right, so we're not clear yet. We have
No,
to
no,
just
no,
pray
nothing's
that
landed.
Doesn't hit anything.
Nothing's landed.
Right, I see. Okay.
Nothing's landed.
Nothing.
Nothing has hit
And
its
what
target yet.
happens with the drones?
What do you
Are
mean?
they bombs, the drones?
Yeah,
or are they-
they're suicide drones. Yeah. They don't go fast. They're easy to target. But
They don't have people in, by the way. It's
no.
not like a-
Yeah, they're unmanned. Well, yeah, I mean they're manned from base.
No, but people could think it's like some, when you say suicide.
There we go.
like-
BBC breaking news: U.S. military has shot down drone heading to Israel. Yeah, I mean this is what Jordan are going to take some of them out to. Cherry D, Bibi will Netanyahu. I hate calling him Bibi. It's like when we call Boris. Netanyahu will play the victim. It is all game playing. It is all posturing. But I promise you, as we kind of felt that this was happening. That's why I wanted to go live after we'd felt our way around it. I guarantee that Netanyahu is where the future potential danger lies. Promise you. I mean, Iran are even hiding this action or putting this action behind a UN, what's it called? Not charter.
what
What are they called? A UN, what are they called? Order.
Convention.
Yeah, it's got a number, whatever it is. It's late. There will be more civil protest in Israel for him to step down. Yeah, I mean...
because people have been terrified. I mean, I don't know, Mark was showing me a clip earlier of people trying to get out of the country.
treaty, no.
Tel Aviv, and it was panic.
What are they called? United Nations regulation? No, I can't remember.
No.
Not treaty.
Article.
Charter. No.
Wasn't it article?
Yeah,
such and
article.
such number?
Article 51, that's right, article. Thank you, PhD Pickles.
Actually, I remember.
Well done. Well, no, but PhD Pickles said it the same. Anyway, guys, look, so we'll keep an eye on this. But as you're
remember
going
there are
into bed,
plenty of-
World War III is not about to happen.
There are plenty of very clever people
Yeah.
balancing.
Yeah. It's all, most of this is stage managed. The only
very
character in all of
unnerving.
it that I find most unnerving is Netanyahu.
I just feel so sorry for my
Yeah, your family. I mean, a state of emergency
Yeah.
was declared in Jordan tonight, and your parents were there a week
They
ago.
were not expecting that would become such a shock. I mean, in Israel and obviously, the West Bank, Gaza, they've been what?
No, I was just going to say, go on, finish, sorry.
What?
No, nothing.
Oh, no, because you went like
Yeah,
that.
no, I thought you'd finished.
They've been living, but my family directly are very much like, oh, it will, nothing will happen. So it will be a big shock. This escalation, no flights. It's a bit. It's like my mum said. We just all feel a bit shaky.
Yeah, shaky.
and a bit-
No, the thing I just wanted to say was this: Iran invoking a United Nations article of self-defense.
Right.
It's going to be really interesting to see how the West now
Right.
manage that.
Because
Because that's very clever.
It is actually very clever.
That's
because,
very clever.
Because if Israel has said, "Listen, we're not adhering to any of that, anything ICJ says." Normally a country like that would then be called a pariah state, right? Would you be if you're not?
If you're operating outside the law, you're a rogue state.
Okay. So if they've come back and said, "Oh, we're just sticking to the letter of the law here," really, maybe that's why Rishi said reckless
Yeah, exactly.
and didn't use something much stronger.
What's that? Is that? Oh,
Oh God!
an explosion.
Oh no!
Active interceptions.
Are these the drones?
These will be ballistic. These have to be.
Oh my God! These poor journalists as well. Jesus.
Look,
Christ.
we're watching missiles land.
Oh my.
They're
God.
being intercepted. Oh.
Is that all right on here? Can you
Yeah. Oh, the sirens are going in Tel
Oh my
Aviv.
God! I can't bear it. I literally can't
Sirens
bear
are
it.
going in Tel Aviv.
I can't bear it.
Can you hear the sirens?
Can't bear it. Oh, I hope my mum
Okay. We're just watching, I'm just watching monitors. There's another missile there coming in. So the Iron Dome, they're trying to use the Iron Dome. Apparently the Iron Dome is not as effective with these long-range ballistic missiles. The Iron Dome is designed for the sort of smaller missiles that are short and mid-range coming from, you know, Gaza. But you can probably, can you hear? You can probably hear the sirens in the background. So essentially the Israeli air defenses are operating. It has to be against the ballistic missiles. The drones won't have got there by now, would they? What time is it? They are actively intercepting. Okay, guys. Okay, well, we're going to go. So, guys, just keep your fingers crossed that this is all stage managed, although it looks a little bit more chaotic than that at the moment. Okay, guys, if you want to get the same footage that we're getting, you go to Al Jazeera Live on YouTube. Okay, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll do another live update on the channel, as well as obviously we're doing the Sunday show for members. All right, guys, stay safe.